Hello, at a new Workplace Ninja Netherlands podcast recording. This time again, Intune What's New, but we will extend that to Windows What's New as well, because in the last few days, the new Windows release 24H2 has been released. So we will give a few details on that as well in this recording. My name is Frans Oudendorp. Together with me, Peter Daalmans, Sander Rozenmuller, Erik Loef, and Joost Gelijsteen. And together we will dive into what's new. So, Peter, what is new in Intune? Because I think we have released 2409,
09. Yep, the September release.
the September release. Is there something to address in that release?
Yeah, there are a few things to address. Or there's a lot of things that is being added, but I think the one major enhancement is an Intune Suite announcement for the enterprise app management. And to a little bit recap, with enterprise app management, you have the capability of adding third-party apps to Microsoft Intune. Um, Basically via guided next finish flow. So it's really easy to add third-party apps like Chrome or Adobe or I don't know what else, Firefox, with all the install parameters and the detection methods, the requirement rules to your Intune tenant and deploy it. In the September release, there is the update mechanism added. Basically, what happens currently in the enterprise app management implementation is that Microsoft relies on the auto update of the applications. If that's a wise decision, I don't know. I doubt that for the majority of customers, you want to have some kind of control. But it didn't update the enterprise of the application package within Intune. And now there's a capability added that you can also update the application if in Intune via guided flow. And that's basically one of the major enhancements which is being added, besides a lot of apps that are being supported nowadays.
Yeah, I don't. When we look at the what's new page, you can find them in learn.microsoft.com. Search for what's new Intune, and you can have an overview of all the announcements that we done. Probably that's updated weekly, I think. But I see a lot of content. But all the content from the last releases are more or less minor, and probably there's a big conference on the corner. Probably some bigger future announcements will be done on Ignite, I guess, but I don't know.
We had already a big conference, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Was there a big conference?
Yeah, well, at some place, Switzerland or so.
Yeah, we will do another recording about the recap of that event from our perspective later on.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that as well. Joost, I thought you had one or two items to mention in the 42409 release.
Yeah, 0-day support for macOS 15 and 0-day support for iOS 18. So that's awesome. They added it as soon as possible. So that's good as well. So
I upgraded.
there's a big one.
I upgraded my phone last week. Probably I thought it was last week. When I upgraded it to iOS 18, it was directly supported within Intune,
Yeah.
so no problem with that.
And also with the settings, right? And in the past you had to wait for a couple of weeks maybe, but now they work so close together with Apple that they can provide 0-day support, because they are really early adopting the new platforms in the beta and maybe even earlier, so that they know what is coming and they can make sure that we are able to manage the new devices, because everybody wants to upgrade and have a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you look at to the What's New page, which you already mentioned, a lot of stuff which is written over there is regarding the whole Apple and iOS stack. So what Peter also said, they're working very close together with Apple. So they are able to onboard even more features very quick. So that's also what you see in the functionality. Intune is getting more and more Apple stuff from there.
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at the page within the what was it, the device enrollment, there are some new pages in the admin center, new settings for iOS, for macOS. So a lot of stuff is coming through. But Peter, we had also 0-day support for Windows.
Yeah, Windows 11 24 H2 finally arrived. I'm not allowed to say finally, maybe. It was, for me, I didn't look at the release dates that closely. So for me, it was a surprise that it was available, and also directly available for via Windows Update and on MSDN and on all the other platforms. So that Microsoft did a really good job, to provide that. But it added also, for instance, we will dive later on in the new features of 24H2. But one of the new features is the personal, what's it called, personal data encryption, and there's already settings available that you can manage through Intune. So that's really good. One side note, I haven't seen a new baseline for 24H2 yet. It's available for GPO, for the more hybrid space, but for the cloud native,
I didn't see.
we need to do our manual stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
and the
I was
manuals.
working. Go
Sorry,
ahead, Joost.
the manual stuff isn't there either in the settings catalog. So that's
Yeah.
already
Yes.
checked, and we cannot create it.
I was working for a customer this morning, and they want to update the Windows release, but also the security baseline. And we had the same discussion on this. It isn't there yet, so it will come, but probably with all the settings that already in the security baseline, that doesn't need to stop the enrollment for the new one. But also, I'm using AutoPatch. I have created the feature update as well, and it will be rolled out completely automatically in the environment. So also AutoPatch is already there, and I was a bit surprised on the new version as well. So when it was on the social media, I created everything. So my machine still needs to reboot, and then I have 24H2.
Cool.
Okay, but 0-day support, so we can manage that with Intune. Erik, what is for you the most the most important feature to use on 24H2? So why should I update to that one?
Um, there are three things from my opinion, and also nice to mention is there are this time there are exclusive Copilot upgrades to the Windows 11 system. So live captioning, co-creator in Paint, so you can together with your AI assistant you can make nice drawings. So a specific Copilot update. So you'll see that in the future more and more. It was 2 years ago, of a year ago. It's new. The update. Peter already mentioned updating, but the way updating took place was it looked at different from the RTM release. and now it can have a cumulative update. So they had given it a new name, but I forgot the name. But it's a snapshot or a checkpoint update. So it only updates when the binary is physically updated. Otherwise, you have to download everything. So that's a new way of updating. Wi-Fi
That
7
is the
support.
Eric. That is the checkpoint cumulative updates.
Ah, check.
If you can, if you want to know more, ak.ms/checkpoint cumulative updates, and I will post also this link in the description.
Yeah. Second, Wi-Fi 7, of course, support, because I also have some roots in networking. And finally, you can scan the QR code. You know, you come to a company and they have on the coffee corner they have a QR code you can scan already with your iPhone. Now you can scan it also with your laptop. So that's I think a nice feature you have. Of course, some energy saving, and I'm also I have a background in Linux. Now you have the sudo command in Windows 11, so you can upgrade from a normal user to sudo, become local admin, just like you did in Linux. So it's nice, and there are some this legacy stuff, but SMB enhancements, SMB signing is now required. You can block NTLM. For example, you can only say do NTLM authentication only in my private network. There was a hack via Outlook a few half year ago. You get a mail and then it was opening a web URL, and then your NTLM credentials with NTLM hash was exposed to the internet. Now you can say only NTLM in a private network. You can also now fix SMB3 or 2. You can block all the protocols. It wasn't possible before. And some LSA protection on by default with an LSA is local system authority, which has all your credentials in your laptop, and that's a first step, I think, to mitigate token protection from a conditional access thing. So that are my takeaways from the Windows 11. There are more, but this is for me important.
I also saw something about the SMB and the firewall rules, which are now in restricted mode. So where some NetBIOS ports are allowed, they are now closed in the firewall, so you're not able to use that ports anymore. So if you're using one of those ports still, then and you will upgrade to the new version of Windows, then your printing and file sharing will stop working then from some if you're using the port still. So maybe a thing to consider if you're still using the ports. Just keep in mind that you have to change the firewall rules there as well.
You can also change the SMB port from now on.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, but there could be reasons enough to keep that port alive for some reason, but
what I say, in the new version of Windows 11, you can now change. Normally it's 445. You can change that. It wasn't possible before.
No, okay, check.
And I was in Bluehead in Israel 1.5 years ago. Was March last year, I think, and there was our friend. I missed his name at the moment, but the Windows security VP from
David Weston.
David Weston, yeah, David Weston. He was on stage and was talking about Rust in the Windows kernel, and finally, N24H2 Rust is in the Windows kernel, so it's there. It can be used to be better control and secure your environment.
Yeah, what I can see is the marketing stuff. What Windows 11 is secure by design. It's getting more and more secure by design, and that's a good thing. Windows Labs gets another update in the Windows environments, getting passphrases, more secure Windows printing. SMB already mentioned. Yeah, it's getting more and more secure by design, so it's a good thing.
There's also something.
But also,
I just enabled a new feature in while you guys were talking, and it was live captioning. So we have this session now, remote session, but my live captioning is basically putting a bar on top of my screen, and it's literally showing what you guys are saying. So that's also a nice addition for um, for people who less with the hearing or having hearing aid. It's you can enable it within the platform itself and
So
not for
probably we
Teams, for instance.
so probably we need to add that to this recording as well, Peter.
Yeah, it's not captured by this, the screen capture, but yeah.
But also, what's so
Uh,
shocking in the new version of Windows 11, we have we talk about additionals, but also something which we all know it's gone. It's WordPad. It's gone from Windows
Oh
11.
no.
The
is it
Notepad
gone?
is upgraded with the tabs, with a few
Yeah.
updates before, but WordPad is done.
Luckily, the paint is still there, so
But I need to stop my upgrade.
Yeah,
Probably.
showstopper.
No. Joost, you're talking about labs. What are some specific? I was talking to one of my customers about labs. You can create now multiple accounts. Was that what labs also multiple admin accounts, or is there still only one admin account that can be created?
Still one, but more automatically. And the biggest thing is passphrases. So creating longer passwords, but in a phrase, so it's easier to type in. But it's not yet in Intune, so it's only on a local device via GPO. So
And you can use the CSP. In the CSP, it's there already. It's only there for insiders, so maybe it also works with the new version. So if you add a custom policy, you maybe are able to enlighten that from there.
But also,
Nice.
when you implement that, Joost, do you also need to upgrade your Active Directory schema like back in the days, or is it necessary for the new
we're
features?
talking about. Are we talking about cloud only, Erik, or?
No, you're talking
Native.
about legacy labs
No,
upgrades.
no, this is a cloud only feature as well. So you
Okay.
can onboard the labs accounts to your Entra environment. You can see it. You can add it to your Intune. You can see everything. So it's policy based by Intune, easy design, and it's already there for some time, more than a year probably.
I thought there was a new Active Directory object for it, the current password version.
Probably, but I don't see
Okay.
group
We're not in
policies
on
anymore that
premises
often.
anymore.
But
So late.
Peter, you were mentioning live caption. Live captioning is only available for Copilot Plus PCs. Do you,
No, I'm just using my Surface Book 3, and it's basically if you go to the what is it in the right corner to the place where you have your VPN and stuff, you have an option for live captioning, and just press it, and then you get a nice bar on top of your screen.
because the reason why I asked that is when I read the What's New page of Windows 11 24H2, then it says that it's exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs in 24H2. Live captioning, Windows Studio effects, co-creator in Paint, auto super resolution, and image creator and restyle image in Microsoft Photos.
That is funny. Yeah, I could share my screen and then could see it, but yeah, it is working, and I don't have a fancy Copilot Plus PC yet.
Does someone knows the temporary enterprise control feature?
Not yet. You're
Because
gonna tell us.
temporary enterprise feature that I'm reading it, so I do not know what it is, but I'm really interested in this one. it turns off certain features that were introduced during monthly cumulative updates for managed Windows 11 devices. And you can control if a system considered to be managed and it's configured to get updates from Windows Update for Business or Windows Server Update services, then you can make that temporary or exclude them. But I don't know. I'm really interested in this one because if you can more granularly deploy this kind of stuff, that, in my opinion, that can be help.
And there was also, I thought that there is a new feature in the during the autopilot that you can update drivers. There's a button now. I saw it on socials that you can update drivers. Maybe Joost knows about that button. He's Mr. Autopilot. You know about that button?
I've seen it, but don't know if it's available for everyone.
Okay.
It was on a tweet from a specific person, so I don't know if it's already available or someone is trying to do some registry stuff and then gets it. So I haven't touched on autopilot with 24H2, so don't know for sure. Can't tell about it.
Okay.
In the autopilot V1, it's not there, or maybe in the V2, but how that's called nowadays.
Device preparation.
Device preparation, that's the one.
Yeah. So we have Wi-Fi 7 support and Windows in this version. Erik, app control for business enhancements in this version.
Yeah. Now the one of the problems we app control for business, it's when you look at Intune, it's still public preview. So that's some hesitation for what I consider is that there's a hesitation for some companies to implement it because the on the Windows 11 it's working because it's there for years. It's called Device Guard. It's Windows Defender Application Control, and now it's App Control Business. So it's there for years. But the configuration App Control Business in Intune is still public preview. So that's the hesitation I see by many companies about implementing the App Control Business. But with every version of Windows, you get new templates, new driver block list, new Windows block list, and that kind of things in the XML part.
And protected printer mode. Joost, anything?
It's a full new feature, so I have to check it. But there are too many new features, so it's out for a week. And I've been playing around it with the insider builds, but that was for other stuff. So that's not for the Windows printing. But
the protected printer mode was more or less about the that it supports now the Mopria. What is it called?
yeah.
The Morphia certified printers. That is based on the Windows modern print stack, and that's now fully supported within this edition of Windows.
Yeah, that's all has to do with a hack has been done on last year or 2 years ago for the printing kernel. So that's why they created it. Yeah.
And furthermore,
So what do we? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there are some additional stuff in the Windows Explorer. Some options that are changed, but more or less the bigger stuff we already announced.
Yeah, what do we think of the 7-zip and tar file archive support?
Yeah, good question.
It's a major announcement, right?
Yeah,
So now we can create and open tar files and 7-zip files by default. Oh well, I think there was an ask
don't
for
have
it.
to. I don't have to install any other program anymore. So
And then what about
Oh,
the
true.
personal data encryption? The thing what I'm curious about.
the personal again.
Personal data encryption for folders. We all know BitLocker, which encrypts your whole disk or volume. And now it's also supported to just encrypt folders on your system. And so if you don't use BitLocker and someone is capturing your device, and they log in, or they want to connect to your drive or something, then your personal data is still encrypted till the moment the user logs in, and then the data will be encrypted. So you can really granular encrypt files, for example.
Yeah, the feature was there already since 22H2, but I think what I've reading is that they have added another layer that only authenticated users can
Yeah.
access it, and only the users that rely on or need to have access. So if you have a device with multi-users and there are multiple OneDrive folders and Windows known folders there, and somebody is able to access it, then it still cannot access data from somebody else.
No.
So it's an extra layer indeed. I haven't played with it, but I think for sure for ransomware attacks and extracting data from a device it's always good to have another layer.
Yep.
So if you want to secure your environment a bit more, enroll into 24H2.
Yeah, well, I can imagine if you look at virtual machines like AVD or Windows 365, for example. You can, of course, you can use BitLocker for encryption or a virtual machine, but I don't think someone is driving to Amsterdam, coming into the windows of Microsoft Data Center and rips off your VHD from there. So it's a bit overkill to BitLocker your VMs, but you can add now an extra layer to at least encrypt your own data.
Yeah.
So that's the point where I was triggered on, with that in mind.
Nice.
And
Any other?
besides the Windows update, there was also some Apple updates, and which is also related to Microsoft, because in iOS 18 it's now possible to have multiple passkeys. So that's in the Authenticator app. So that's also for me a big plus to make make the identity more phishing resistant using passkeys. Because in the past, it's only possible to have one account. Phishing resistant using passkeys. Now you can have multiple passkeys stored in your iOS 18. I have to deep dive in that how to make this work, but that's a next step to make it really easier for everyone to become phishing resistant. So also other platform updates are also helping Microsoft things to enhance.
Nice. Any other feature that we missed? Don't think so, but
No.
if so,
There's a lot. So I think we missed something, but not for what I can see right now.
not the important stuff. But if we missed one, please let us know. We will dive into that probably in one of the recordings that are already has been planned for the next weeks, next months. So if you enjoyed this recording, thumbs up, like and subscribe, and looking forward to the next one. So thanks, guys, for this recording, and looking forward to the next one. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.